So asset freedom is very simple. This is when the income from your assets covers all of your expenses. To me, this is where freedom really begins. Okay, let's talk about the 3 levels of financial freedom. And these are directly connected to income, independence, and impact. So check this out. And I'm pulling on my 30 years of experience as a financial planner, investor, financial coach, and ladder climber. Like, I've climbed up each one of these levels. And man, money used to stress me the heck out. Even though I was fortunate enough to make a lot of it, to have a super high income in my 20s, I felt like we were still living paycheck to paycheck. I was making 6 figures, but I think with a couple of kids, a mortgage, 2 car payments, it seemed like we were just constantly chasing our tail. And I think that's a reality for most people. And we both know that inflation has risen even more than they're telling us. And I think for most people, financial stress is a real thing, and it's exhausting. I've been there. The first step toward real financial freedom isn't about hitting it big or retiring early. The first level is what we call stress level 0. Your financial stress is almost entirely gone. At stress level 0, you've got breathing room. Our immediate needs are met. We've got a cushion, whether it's a savings or a portfolio that can handle these emergencies. You're no longer living paycheck to paycheck, and you're actually building wealth each month. If you're not there yet, I want to help you get there. That's what F40 is all about. We're going to show you how to do it, and more importantly, why you need to do it. And I think the biggest reason here is that everything is connected. Living in a state of constant stress, even if it's like just this background anxiety that comes up when the bills come in, that takes a serious toll on the body. Years ago, I had a physician friend of mine tell me about something called allostatic load. It's a measure of cumulative stress that impacts your physical health, and financial stress is a major contributor. Just in the past week, we found 9 different studies directly connecting financial stress to your physical and mental health. It's directly linked to increased inflammation, higher C-reactive protein levels, and a greater risk for cardiovascular disease. It can even lead to depressive symptoms, like this lower sense of well-being and feelings of loneliness. It drives up blood pressure. It releases stress hormones like cortisol, and it triggers negative neuroendocrine responses. Our body stays in survival mode. If you've never experienced this kind of pressure, I'm glad you haven't, but I have, and I know firsthand how crucial it is to get a handle on this type of financial stress. To me, when we arrive here, it's like you're walking into a whole new world where you can be yourself. Your family is getting a better you. You are getting a better you. And then once we're at stress level 0, the next goal is what we call asset freedom. So what is an asset? Well, the simple definition is it's anything that can produce income or spin off income to you, whether you're involved or not. This could be things like businesses, real estate, stocks. Heck, the guy recording this video right now is a musician, and he has small royalties coming in from music that he created years ago through Spotify and other streaming platforms. So that's an asset. So asset freedom is very simple. This is when the income from your assets covers all of your expenses. To me, this is where freedom really begins. If most people are living in this world of stress, then asset freedom is where you have both income and independence. That's the key here. You can basically do whatever you want to do. You're generating cash flow, and those assets are probably appreciating in value. You no longer need to work, at least not for money. And this, I think, is an important point that I want you to get. It's about creating money out of thin air with things that can produce cash flow. I want your brain to go there. I want you to start thinking, what assets can I create or invest in? I had another experience that really drove home the idea of asset freedom for me. And this is personal. It might seem a little bit silly, but my wife, Kelly, her parents would watch the kids almost every Friday night. We'd go out for date night. So we'd go to dinner, we might see a movie, and sometimes we'd pop into Target. So one night we walked by this inflatable kids pool slide. It was this huge thing in this big box, and I remember it was around $500. And at that time, $500 was still too spontaneous of a purchase for us. Like, we couldn't justify it. We laughed about how much the kids would love it, but $500 was still $500. So fast forward a few months, and I'd been working on an information product. This is a perfect example of an asset. It was a product on how to market your business on the internet. So I put the time, the effort, and the energy into creating this digital product that I could then sell over and over and over again. And then we launched it internally, and I made over $400,000 in less than a week. And it wasn't just that 1 week. Over the next couple of years, we went on to sell millions of dollars worth of that product. And I'm super excited to show you how to create, build, and sell information products in the Create module in a few weeks. But that same week, after we launched that internally, we went back to Target. And I grabbed a separate cart, told Kelly that I'd meet her at the checkout, and I went straight to grab that inflatable slide. And I'll never forget her smile when she turned the corner, she saw it in the cart, and she knew, and I knew that we had reached a different level of asset freedom. And I think that's how life works. Once you're in that space, life just opens up and you start to see even more opportunities. So after level 2, asset freedom, comes level 3, which we call real freedom. So this is where you spend most of your time making an impact, and your financial resources allow you to live a life of purpose. It's what we always talk about as like the main goal when it comes to money. You no longer need to trade your time for money, and instead you actually have enough financial freedom to do some really cool and important things for the world, for yourself, for your community. You have the ability to shape things and literally make them better. You can start businesses the world has never seen before. You could create charities. You could invest in people who are making a difference, or you could volunteer yourself. You can focus all your time on projects that are meaningful to you, that give you purpose. That's real freedom. The freedom to bless others, the freedom to leave a mark on this planet, the freedom to have this lasting impact on the people all around you who are important to you. And that's the kind of freedom that we want you to experience. This entire Freedomology concept is about impact. So that's it for the 3 levels of freedom. I just wanted to paint a super clear picture of exactly what you're aiming for and the kind of life that you want to build. I want you to start thinking about how you'd spend your time once you're no longer chained to your old world, and what kind of impact do you want to make right now?